Okay, you wouldn't believe what I am about to tell you guys now. Well, today, I noticed some similarities between Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix and the circumstances caused by the coronavirus in this epic or pandemic year. Make yourself ponder while I tell you the incredible relation in a short while. Just can't believe we are almost at the tip of this year and almost at the threshold of the next year, but we still seem corona-stricken. Oh, how I wish I were born into some wizarding family, as in our all-time favorite Harry Potter franchise, where I could have just created a Patronus to protect us all from the Dementor coronavirus just by chanting Expecto Patronum, or any other spell for the matter of magic. Hey there, cinephiles! Here to look for the next best movies to watch or to know amazing things about your favorite movies? Well, then you are in the right place. Welcome to POPZEE, where you can find all the cinematic details you need. Today, we have our picks for the unbelievable similarities between Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix and the current coronavirus scenario. But before that, make sure to drop a like. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe and turn on post notifications. Make sure to stay till the end to know our take on your favorite movies. I know all of you Potterheads are burning with curiosity just after my lit announcement of the similarities between the fifth installment in the Harry Potter film series and the COVID scenario. Okay, I am not gonna keep you guys waiting any longer, so straight into our topic now. Do you already see the world's presidents in pink? Delicious, isn't it? Well, it goes without being specified that the whole world watches to the speeches of their presidents, akin to the scene that we watch here where the newly appointed High Inquisitor of the Hogwarts School of Wizarding, Umbraigi, speaks and everybody watches with earnestness and confusion about what is to become of them and their lives under her administration. Often, we all sit mouth-chapped, smiling as if to say in pain when we watch our leaders making speeches, especially during this COVID season. Looking up to them even though we kind of slyly know deep down that they are not going to bring about much fertile changes anytime soon. Or they just stand there making ho-hum speeches, like Umbraigi in pink hiding behind their glossy pink cover and making some random feudal speeches. Don't lie, we have often been through this, even when we knew all the while what they say are absolute pieces of lies to titter at, but we just instead sit there with fake smiles plastered, wondering as to what is gonna happen. Everyone appreciates the hard work of the nurses and doctors. The coronavirus outbreak has brought the world to a standstill, with businesses around the world shutting shop, the economy taking a severe hit, and most countries being in lockdown. All of us are fighting COVID-19 the best way we can. However, in this pandemic, the medical community, including doctors, nurses, and the medical staff, are the warriors who are fighting this disease on the front lines and are putting their lives at risk to keep us safe. Applauding them for their selflessness is probably the only goodness that happened in the gloomy times. Thank you, Professor Umbraigi. Reminds us of the umpteen times we said. Thank you to doctors, nurses, and medical workers. Everyone believes what is told on TV and in the newspapers, from the idea that the coronavirus was created in a lab to the belief that it is all part of a plan to bring in compulsory vaccinations. Conspiracy theories have been plentiful in recent months. Now, research indicates that people who get their news from news channels and papers are more likely to believe in such theories. Most of them rely on these without actually knowing the credibility of such news, just like Harry's roommate, CMU's Finnegan's mom, believing the misconceptions made on Harry and Dumbledore at the death of Cedric, while it was falsely reported in the Daily Prophets. The intelligent lockdown was also subtly discussed. If you ponder deeper, my point will make sense to you. Remember the lines of Umbraigi? You will be learning about defensive spells in a secure, risk-free way. And we are no different now. Obviously, we too are learning or are cut from physical traditional setup of the class owing to the wave of COVID, and have now opted to learn from a secure, risk-free environment virtually. And we cannot escape the measures just like the pupils at Hogwarts. Every country gets new rules over and over again, just like how the caretaker of Hogwarts hammered the rules as per the instructions from Umbraigi. And so are we tied to some of the tight rules without any other choice, like the strict curfews, social distancing, as in Harry Potter 2, where the students were kept parted, and the shutdown of clubs and restaurants and barricades over any social gatherings. Transgressing the rules will punish us, like the way Harry was not spared. Everything has been disinfected. You can see Umbraigi spraying here in this clip, just akin to the way we keep spraying around relentlessly. Spray here, spray there, to keep the surrounding disinfected. Or maybe, can we stay this as our way of creating the Patronus to shield ourselves against the nasty, stubborn piece of shit, Corona? Can you already picture it? Serious, you are stuck. Again, the iteration is visible in the form of Zoom meetings, where we are stuck behind such screens. Unfortunately, this also happened to many of us during this COVID season, where many became unemployed, just like the way Professor Sybil Trelawney was fired. Sometimes we can be quite rebellious, just like Hermione and friends, not adhering to the rules put forth and rather tread past the boundary, as in where we tend to be assertive, not wearing masks. Fortunately, a lot has changed after the criticism, when at the peak of intolerance, Professor Minerva McGonagall burst finally to raise her voice against Umbraigi for her misguidance and very vicious rules. Many apparent complot theories are being worked on a dog-eat-dog level competition between nations, like Harry and partners hatching conspiracy plans under the cover, while Harry wonders how to go to London. Even we do wonder how to not just go to London, but the borders of the whole world have been closed, and hence there can be no movement across borders. Harry was just a fingertip away in vanishing the Dark Lord from the face of people's land, and the case is not so different, where even we're almost at verge of finding a cure vaccine against the deadly coronavirus. When Lucius said, you should really know to tell the difference between dreams and reality. The reports we are fed with put us in the same dilemmatic condition, because what is real and what is not. We are just so done with atrocities of one aggressively strewn virus that we no longer have the determination to fight against, and what we want is truce. As you can clearly see here, Lucius too wants tranquility, assuredly asking the opponents to calm down. Shall we? Are you naive enough to think children stood a chance? And the media too left the children out of the significant danger, assuming they won't be infected, until the moment of scary truth dawned on, like the way Harry was to encounter the Dark Lord. Hold on, the vaccine is coming, and Corona must be worrying. The scenario of vaccine versus Corona is like Harry Potter versus the Dark Lord Voldemort, and the film also predicts that it will look like post-Corona. Well, I don't know how this will end, but let's hope that it ends in a good way, as that in the movie. And finally, let us hope to wake up one day to freedom. Yes, freedom from the haughty coronavirus. Well, one day we will also repeat the ending in the 5th installation of the Harry Potter movie series, where we will all be screaming our lungs out at the zenith of our voices to mark our happiness in having curbed this 1-year-old coronavirus. If only it were as simple as vanishing the coronavirus just by this spell. But soon we will have the antagonist washed out of our lives completely. Oh well, my intuition says, so that it's almost time that the spell Ivanesco worked to vanish this virus into the thin air. Alrighty, how far can you relate to this movie, living in this current pandemic-driven situation? Just head down to the comment section to let us know of your views. Also, feel free to show us your love by liking the video so that we come up with more jaw-dropping videos. And do not forget to follow us on social media at POPZEE.tv as well. See you later, cinephiles.